Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Doing a video today updating you guys on the four executive orders that went through on Saturday. Did a little bit of reading and watched a few videos to try and get a better understanding to relay the message to you guys. First up is the payroll tax holiday. In the last video I said it was going to be a 6.5 to 7.5% tax cut, but it's actually 7.65%. They're trying to set it for September 1st to December 31st. If you make less than $100,000 a year, you'll be eligible. But the big kicker with it is you will owe this money back with the current executive order. It's a deferral, so there's no penalties and no interest currently, but it can be possibly forgiven. There's nothing written in it that said it's going to be forgiven, but I'm pretty sure that they have to work something out with Congress to pretty much set up with the IRS, because currently if everything goes through how it's set up, you will owe that money back at the end of the year. I don't know if you would have to pay that money back when you file your taxes, or your employer has to take that money back on your future checks after 2020 and pay that back to the IRS for you when they pay taxes on you. So I'm not sure how they're going to work that one out. But if you do, or if your employer does participate in that program where you're receiving an extra 7.65% of your check, I would set some of that money aside, or I wouldn't even use it at all, and wait until they figure out if they're gonna set up a waiver for everybody that gets it, or if they're gonna put in place a credit for everybody when tax time comes around, so that you don't owe that money back. You shouldn't owe it, because essentially it's not stimulating you. It's just providing you with a small loan every time you receive a paycheck that you have to pay back at the end of the year. And then the next thing is the evictions and foreclosures. It said it will be halted to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which it seems pretty broad. It seems like somebody could evict you, or a renter, or you can get your house foreclosed on, and they can say, well, this person probably has immediate family who can house them, so they're not going to spread COVID-19. It's pretty strange that they use that wording as a stipulation for allowing people to get their evictions put on hold, or their foreclosures put on hold. It doesn't really say who would be eligible for that funding that they say they would provide or can provide for folks that are in need. And then the next one that's up is unemployment to $4,000 a week. The boost would end it would end at the end of the year. So states will pay $100 or 25%, and the feds will pay $300 or 75%. But like I said in the last video, states can raise their contribution, and then I'll use the $600 as an example. So say for example, they said, okay, we want to pay people $600 a week, we want to give them that boost. The states would pay $150, and the feds would pay $450. But the only problem with that is a lot of states, their budgets have been cut, so I'm not sure if they can reallocate more money to unemployment to take care of giving people $600 or more than the $400. I don't even know if they can afford the $400 to give everybody, let's say, $100 out of their own pocket. I know unemployment's always been like that, where they have a fund where they have a fund where they pay a portion from the state and a portion from the feds. But I don't think that states are equipped for all the people that are unemployed currently. What else is there? So this should be retro back to August 1st to fill the gap from when the CARES Act unemployment boost expired. To qualify for this boost, it's a little bit different. There were waivers put in place for the unemployment boost for the CARES Act. If anything stopped you from working for COVID purposes, you pretty much were able to receive that unemployment as long as you sent in your information showing how much you made. Now, it seems as though if you make anything underneath $100, or if you're approved for anything less than $100 a week from your unemployment, so they usually pay you, I would say, about 70% of what your wages were. If you make anything underneath, if they determine that your payment should be anything underneath $100, you will not receive the $400 boost. But I know states like Michigan, I believe the minimum unemployment amount you can be approved for is $130. So I don't think that's a big issue here, because if you're not approved for regular unemployment, you just wouldn't be eligible here. I don't know how it works for other states. I know every state is different. But I would definitely check with your state if you're somebody who received or is still receiving unemployment. Make sure there was a PUA that showed the $600 boost, and then there was another claim that you had that was attached to your PUA that shows that you were receiving whatever amount on top of the $600. So as long as that's over $100, you should be fine for the $400. And lastly is student loans. Really, it's pretty cut and dry for student loans. The interest rate is still going to be 0%. They're still going to freeze those payments until the end of the year and possibly longer. So I don't think that there's a problem there. I feel as though like these executive orders, they were a good thing. It should be good news to us, but I also feel like a lot is missing, and we still need a full bill to be passed, because everybody's not being taken care of, but these directly affect people, which is a good thing. But it just seems like a lot of people will be left out. Like, say for example, with the unemployment, people who are part-time, and then they also had a change in there where if you receive partial payments from your work, like if your hours were cut. So I think that also has to do something to do with the $100 thing. I don't really know how that works with partial payments, but I do know if if they determine that you will receive less than $100 a week, you will not receive it. That's for certain. I feel like maybe this was something that the president just put in place just until Congress can get off of recess. I believe they're in recess until next month, which is kind of crazy. It seems like a pretty long break because we just got into August. But maybe I know it's not unheard of them voting on stuff or working and negotiating with each other during recess. They're just not in the building working or talking face to face. So I believe they can use communications like Zoom or video conference, whatever, and sit from home and talk about things that need to be worked on. So I think that this was just something that he felt like people needed something. So this was something that he just said, okay, I'll put this in place until they can figure things out or they can come to an agreement. It has to be, because there's just a lot of things that's not there, like government funding, what is it called, PPE, businesses or whatever. I know they want to take care of businesses, liability protection. What else is there? What money for hospitals, money for schools, none of that stuff was mentioned. So I feel like this is just a placeholder just to get something to people. But we'll see where things go from here. If I find out any more information, I'll be sure to let you guys know. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen to this video. If you enjoyed this content, I hope that you like the video, share the video, comment, and let me know what you think. But once again, thank you guys. Hope you have a good night or a good day. Bye-bye.